Hello everyone, it's Finance Talk. Today we will cover another fundamental thing in personal finance, which is budgeting, and how you apply this information to save more than $10,000 a year based on my story. Stay tuned. According to Wikipedia, a personal budget or home budget is a finance plan that allocates future personal income towards expenses, savings, and debt repayments. In simple words, it's a document in which you plan your income or expenses and compare them with the real situation. It also helps you to manage your money more wisely, so you can save money for your dreams and projects, invest, pay out debts, etc. The personal budget is very similar to the company budget, income statement. You have incomes, maybe even several, and you have expenses. Incomes minus your expenses equals to your net income, just like in the corporate world. But instead of business, the more wise approach is to keep zero-based budget. This doesn't mean that you have to spend all your income on groceries, monthly subscriptions, and other purchases. This means that you have a particular categories in your budget, like savings, investing, trips. We'll speak about them later in this video, in which you distribute all your money. So in the end you have $0 and all your aims, dreams and expenses are covered. However, there are several common mistakes which people make while budgeting. First, not having budget at all. If you have particular goals to accomplish, it is a crucial mistake not to have a budget at all. Budget will help you to look through all your finance situations more objectively and understand what you can or cannot achieve financially. Suppose that you would like to start investing in stocks every month and want to know which sum is appropriate for you. Your income is $50,000 a year, little more than $4,000 a month. After calculating all your expenses, you have $3,700, so you only have $300 every month for investing. Is it good or bad? Well, it depends on the aims of the person. If the aim is to buy a house or live on your investments, the sum is not enough. And you start understanding that after you create your budget, it gives you the map how to achieve your financial goals. The second popular mistake is not following the budget after you understood your aims and created the document. This means that either your aims do not motivate you, or maybe you did something wrong creating your budget, or you just do not have the discipline to follow it. The best decision from my point of view here is to reconsider your budget and your goals, so it will be more comfortable to follow them. This also leads us to third mistake: be unrealistic about your budget. When you try to set bigger goals, which is great, but they are not correlated to your current financial situation. In this case, after some time you realize that you do not come closer to your dreams and goals, and you just lose your motivation. Next mistake is not track all your expenses and incomes. Maybe you have multiple credit cards and forget to write down all your spendings. The solution for this is to use apps where you can add multiple bank accounts and track all your numbers. However, there is another thing which can damage your financial planning. It's when you write down expense or income which belongs to another period. For example, you plan to pay your rent in January, but actually paid it next month. According to your personal cash flow, the payment was in February, but in your budget, the sum should be written down in January, because this is the expense of this month. In this case, your budget will be more accurate and you will know how much money you exactly spent and earned in a particular month. Next mistake is to plan and keep your budget based on your income without including income taxes. In this case, you also receive wrong numbers and your budget will be unrealistic. Another mistake is not spending time reviewing and correcting your budget. In most cases, after some time you will see some little things which need to be improved, like changing the name of categories, calculating numbers differently, etc. I personally review and correct my budget every month when I plan numbers for the next period. The next important thing, which some people don't do, is to have reserves for emergency, investing, education, etc. Life is unpredictable and you do not know what can be next day or week. In my budget, I have such categories like investing. Usually it's more than 25% of all my income. Reserves, 5%, sometimes 0. Education, 5%, and traveling, 5%. The last but not least mistake is overcomplicating. There is a famous quote: everything should be made as simple as possible, but no simpler. When the person thinks of complicated algorithms, checking and planning, charts, etc., Sometimes he or she does not need them. The simpler rules and actions, the better the result will be. It will also positively affect your motivation to track your budget, because you do not need to spend the whole day every month for calculating, planning, etc. Next, we will talk about expense and income tracking. Usually, this problem is solved by adding particular apps which connect to your bank account and track all your numbers. If you would like to know more about these apps, please write down in the comments below so I can make a video on them. This part is quite simple. You just gather all the information in one place so you can analyze it easier. Speaking about budget planning and reviewing, it's perfect when you have the plan for a year and recheck it on a monthly basis. But creating a monthly plan for your income and expenses is also okay. In this case, you will see how much money will you make every month and which sum you have at the end after all expenses. This will give you the information of what to do next and how you can improve your numbers. Maybe you'll find out that you should break down some of your bad habits, because they not only damage your health, but you also spend quite a lot of money on them. Or maybe you will be hit by the idea of how to improve your income, find a second job, or start investing, or maybe sell some stuff. After a particular month is gone, you can compare actual numbers with your planned expenses and incomes and see where you underspent or overspent. All these principles I told you before helped me, and I continue to improve my financial situation with them. When I was 18, 10 years ago, I did not have any system and just spent everything I earned. At the age of 20, I had my first business, a little shoe store, which generated me some money, as I thought. While working in this business, I took down notes to calculate all my daily income and expenses. So then, I tried to apply these rules to my personal expenses and start to track them too. Then I tried some apps for tracking my numbers, and after that went to Google Sheets and still keep my budget there. All this journey helped me to save my first $10,000 in a year when I worked and have my business, just from optimizing my expenses. Now I understand that it's not a huge sum of money, but it can be a pretty good extra sum which you can add to your investing capital. And by applying the compounding rule from my previous video, you can significantly increase it in the future. So why did I choose a simple online Google table? The answer is because I try to keep things as simple as possible. Now let's look through the document. I will put the link down below in the description so you can download it for free. I hope it will change your life for the better. First of all, go to the document and click Create a copy. Then you can change and modify the document as you want. So now let's go quickly through all the tabs in the budget. There are several of them. Main, with general numbers. Cash flow, where you can write down all your income and expenses, and the budget itself. The main tab contains all the information about your average income and expenses. Total capital, which you have for investing, reserves, etc. Then you have a table which calculates the total numbers from your cash flow for a particular period. We will speak about dates and numbers little later. Here you can see your total income and expenses based on categories. On cash flow tab, you have a table where you write down all your numbers on a particular date. Now, important thing, here are two columns with the table: the actual date when you pay something or receive income, and the date to which it refers to. Remember our example with the rent. Our table here automatically calculates all the income and expenses based on the second date column, so you can see a better picture about your month numbers. Here is the list of all categories for income and expenses for cash flow tab. So if you want to add or delete some category, you can do it here, and then it automatically changes in the cash flow tab and in the budget tab. This applies only to current sales. Please do not create new ones here. On the budget tab, you see total numbers for every month and for the year in total. Now let's speak about the usage of the document. I personally start with the cash flow tab, where I write down all my income and expenses. Then I see all numbers for the particular month on the main tab and copy them to the budget section. I also write down all the numbers for incomes and expenses for every month in the plan section, so I project how much money will I earn and spend for each month during the year. In the end, I review my budget once a week and once a month, so I can make little changes to the document, improve it, and correct all my numbers. I hope this information was useful and it will help you to be better. If you have other useful tips, please share them in the comments below. And as always, please subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified about other great videos. Thank you. Bye.